Georgia football just got bad news as we have multiple updates on two transfer portal acquisitions that are facing big time injuries, and we have to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Georgia Football 365. If you are a Georgia Bulldogs fan, please hit that subscribe button. Only 6.2% of viewers are subscribed to the channel, and it really helps me out a ton. But let's jump right into what we got for today. I've seen some questions about one of these two players. I held off a little while on this video because I want to make sure that we could collect every possible information that was out there, and now we are bringing it to you guys. Coming from the Bulldog Report on X, Amarius Williams and Dante Dowdell will likely not play this season, two of Georgia's biggest additions in the transfer portal for the 2026 season. Now, Amarius Williams was an injury that we already knew about. He tore his ACL earlier on this year. Huge loss for Georgia. It's going to suck. But it is the Dante Dowdell injury that is the more recent of the two. Unfortunately, we are hearing that Dante Dowdell was in an ATV accident, and it is highly likely, is the term I'm hearing, highly likely that he will be missing all of the 2026 season. Big loss for the Georgia Bulldogs, not something that we wanted to hear. This program is ran so well. It is the class of really all college football. When you are surrounded by, there are some programs in the SEC that they win a lot, but they're squeaky wheels. There's always stuff being said about the program. There's always controversies with the program. Georgia is the buttoned up, big brother of the SEC, where there's no controversies outside of one thing, and overall ran very well. Bad news doesn't get out. Except for whatever reason, when it comes to motor vehicles, the University of Georgia's players absolutely cannot contain themselves. I don't know what it is, but with Georgia and vehicles, we need to take everybody's keys away until they graduate or they're drafted by the NFL. But that's just me. Let's jump into a little bit deeper into what these players are. Dante Dowdell transferring from the Kentucky Wildcats, so an SEC to SEC transfer. He is 6'2", 225 pounds. As a transfer, he was ranked as the 199th best player in the transfer portal and the 14th best running back in the transfer portal, according to 24/7 Sports. This coming after he was also a top 200 player in his recruiting class, the 9th best running back in his recruiting class, and 4th best player in the state of Mississippi. Now, of course, Dante Dowdell, you would have been hoping over the course of the year that he wasn't going to be getting a ton of use, because we want to see our guy Nate Frazier run the whole SEC over as a starting running back for the Georgia Bulldogs. We expect big time numbers out of Nate Frazier, and we're hoping that he can have a career year in a way that makes us go, we don't even want to put anyone else on the field at that position. We want you to be that dominant. Go out, get drafted highly in the NFL. Then the Georgia coaching staff can tell people in the future, look at what we did with Nate Frazier. We can do that for you as well. And then Georgia can continue to recruit running backs at an elite level. We know in 2027, Canion, the #1 rated running back recruit in the country, is committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. So do we need more help recruiting running backs? Probably not. Do we need more help developing running backs? Definitely not. But you don't turn it down, right? You always want another reason to tell recruits to come to the University of Georgia. So unfortunate to lose Dante Dowdell for this upcoming year, but I do have faith that we are going to be able to figure out something on offense this year. There's a reason why Bobo was up for the awards that he was up for last season as an assistant coach. Let's jump into our other big loss here. Amarius Williams, 6'2", 260-pound edge defender from Auburn, transferring over, rated a 4-star prospect by 24/7 Sports, the 17th best player in the transfer portal and #4 edge in the transfer portal. So he was a huge pickup for the Georgia Bulldogs. Unfortunately, we will be also without Amaris Williams. He was a 5-star prospect when he was coming out. So this was a very, very highly talented player is Williams. And now the question is, how do these injuries affect the odds for Georgia going forwards? Now, these odds are coming from FanDuel, where Georgia is technically the second favorite to win the SEC in all reality, a 20-point difference in betting between Texas and Georgia. It's essentially co-favorites to win the SEC conference according to FanDuel, followed up by Texas A&M and Alabama. Even with these big-time injuries, even losing an edge defender, we still have a ton of faith in Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart to put together an elite defense, because that's all that Georgia does year in and year out. So I really don't have... Really, both of these positions are positions that Georgia has been known for. We control the games using the offensive and defensive line of scrimmage. So losing a running back, but we have a fantastic offensive line and a great running back one. Lose a edge rusher, but we have always the next man up mentality at the edge rusher position, at linebacker, at defensive end, at defensive line, and a phenomenal defensive coaching staff ready to make adjustments and ready to make an opposing offense have the worst day of their entire season. So right now, according to FanDuel, Georgia, the second favorite to win the SEC. I believe I've been seeing Georgia as the favorite to win the SEC, although what I'm certainly seeing is Texas has shorter odds to win the national championship over the Georgia Bulldogs. And my theory on this is the Texas schedule is very, very difficult this season. One of the toughest schedules in not only the SEC, but the entire landscape of college football. So pundits are looking at that, and odds makers over there in Las Vegas, they're looking at that schedule and saying there are likely a couple of SEC losses here for the Longhorns. They are probably not going to be making the SEC championship game. And they look at Georgia, a team that they hold in very high regard. Both of these programs, either one of them may be number one in the ESPN preseason rankings. If you ask me, you can put either one of these programs number anywhere between 1 and 5. Throw in Ohio State, Oregon, and Notre Dame with these two, and you can rank them however you want, and I'm not going to debate you on it. But the fact that Texas has shorter odds to win the national championship and Georgia the shorter odds to win the SEC, thought that was pretty interesting. But Georgia does have the pedigree and the history on our side when it comes to winning SEC championships. Kirby Smart knows what he is doing coaching-wise, especially when he is matched up against another program from the Southeastern Conference. So very excited to see what this season holds for the Georgia Bulldogs. Should be a war if those two top teams ever go head-to-head. And of course, we know LSU, Bama, A&M, Oklahoma, anyone from that tier of SEC schools, or probably one of them, are going to easily jump up into that top 5. We just don't know who it's going to be. So it should be a bloodbath this year in the SEC, as it always is. That's nothing new. We know to expect that at this point. That's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Go Dogs!